Hey guys, this is John, and I'm playing Schech in the 1 minute pool on ICC. First game of the session. And so let's play. I'm going to go d6. I'm going to play Naka style with bishop d7 and queen c8. We'll see how he reacts to this. And then an all-out assault on the king with h4 ready. Okay, so he's chasing our queen. This guy's pretty fast. So I'm sacking some time already at the outset of this game. I'm not actually threatening to take on c4 because of queen a4 check, so he could just leave that pawn as is. Yeah, and he realizes that. I'm going to put this knight here and maybe even castle kingside. I'm not sure about my chances for a mating attack anymore. So let's just do this and probably end up castling. I think the pressure on b2 might be significant. So we're going to trade. Got some slightly weak pawns, but nothing major. He could play knight d5 perhaps. Does not. Can I take this? I think I can. You can take c6, but let's try to put our queen in. Maybe gain a counterattack. Okay. Can I play d5 after this? So pinning his knight. If the knight moves, he loses his queen. I've evened up the time. This is promising. My knight on h6 is out of play, but no big deal, I think. Yeah, let's take. We're going to take on e2. His rook is very tied down. We can look to play, for instance, rook d8 now, rook d1 coming. Let's just do that. Look for the swap. Bring this back, coordinate. Bring our king up. I dropped the pawn. That was not smart of me. Hopefully it will not matter, though. Yeah, he's going to have a tough time with the time on his clock. Let's go take this. And of course I blunder that, too. Just centralize our queen. And we're up 10 seconds. So even though we blundered the game away at the end, it didn't matter because of the clock. So interesting game. I was way down on time at the outset and then managed to pick it up later. Only 41 moves though. Okay, so back in the pool. I'm at 25-31 after that game. Let's take a look at the 1 minute list just out of curiosity. We have Mateus, Grandmaster Mateus. That is MVL, Maxime Vachier-Lagrave, the Frenchman with two names, as he puts in his finger notes. He is occupying the top spot. Leverage is number 2. And Alexander Grishuk, who will take on Magnus Carlsen, I know, on chess.com, because Magnus absolutely destroyed Tigran Petrosian in the first of his matches in the chess.com Blitz Battle Championship. Then we've got Kava. Okay, yep. Very good GM. And NECF in schools. Always a tough bullet player. Unfortunately, it doesn't look like anyone's on right now. I had to wait a really long time to get a game. And that might be the case. This is currently the highest rated 1 minute game. It is the weekend. It is currently 6:30 p.m. U.S. Central Time on Saturday. I'm about to meet up with some buddies, but I figured I'd get in a session right quick first. And while I remember it, I am thinking, guys, of streaming on Twitch a little bit in the future. I like YouTube streaming, but I want to explore Twitch, and I know certain people have been clamoring for that. And I see some benefits in streaming on Twitch. But I was curious if you had an opinion one way or the other as to whether you'd prefer to watch me on Twitch or on YouTube or on both. Does it matter to you? What are the positives and negatives if you happen to know them? So put your opinions in the comments. I'd love to hear. As far as just general news with me, I am not playing any major tournaments at the moment. Some people have been asking me lately if I plan to pursue my GM title, if I'm going to play norm tournaments as a result. I have no norm tournaments on the horizon, but I do want to study more, and I've decided to free up a little time in my schedule. I've cut down on my teaching a little bit, and I'm trying to free up some time in my schedule to study and make time for my own personal chess development. That's very important. I am a chess teacher first and foremost, but I want to improve as a player as well. So you got to make time if you want to get better, right? So I'm looking to do that, and I hope to document some of that along the way on this channel. Yucatan 3000 is the next opponent. Let's play b6 on move 1. I'm in a flanky mood today. Maybe we'll even double fianchetto. He's playing his bishop back to g3. I might go after that dark square bishop just because. Let's take it. Why not? I'll play d6. He might play bishop into a6, but no. Okay. So he's content to keep his king over here. And he's looking to attack me on the h-file, which is probably a decent plan, given how I've played it. Let's take with the pawn. Yeah, I have some sketchy weaknesses now. Like my dark square bishop is out of play. I'm not sure he wants to double up on the h-file anymore, however. Let's try to double up on the d-file if we can. He's going to play knight c4. Okay, so let's do rook d8. Now we got to safeguard the queen side. But now I can play a6 followed by b5. He's going to lose a piece. I could have done that on the previous move, couldn't I? I did not have to play h6 first. So if rook d1, okay, he's not going to do that. So let's take this opportunity to trade queens and then get the rook into the second rank, where we can cause some ruckus. Let's go take this. Go take that too. Go take this. We'll let him have the b6 pawn. It doesn't really matter. Now rook c2 is always a big threat. So let's give a check there. And I should probably move away. Got to watch my clock a little bit. Try to kick out his knight. I'm just bringing my king over to make sure the pawns are not that big of a problem. Bishop f3 is crushing here. Go take this guy. Okay, and he resigns. I wouldn't recommend that setup against the London system. Double fianchetto. The double fianchetto is good in certain instances, but probably not here, because notice this dark square bishop. It's staring right at this pawn on d4, and I know there are setups where black does this, but in conjunction with the queenside fianchetto too, I'm unconvinced. And I think the fact that I had to play e5 later, that hurt my chances. Like, this is not a happy camper, this piece. The bishop on g7 when I end up playing d takes e5. I didn't want to play bishop takes e5, though, because knight c4 would hit the bishop, and d6 is tender. So I'm probably just worse round about this stage. And in fact, I could have even played a6 right here too. So that a6, bishop a4, b5 advance was present for a few different moves. Interesting. Okay. I think my technique was okay at the end. Up a massive amount of material. Just wanted to make sure the b and the a pawns didn't become a big problem. Let's see who else is playing. ICC is weird with the time of days, and sometimes there's just a lull in the play. It doesn't happen often, but I've had a few sessions where it's just like pulling teeth to get a game against someone even 2,000 plus. So I'm a little surprised that's occurring right now. US time. It should be early morning hours for a lot of the Europeans. I know they're still awake. Okay, Popol 29 is the next opponent. Let's play e4. Trying to force myself to play more aggressive openings. Again, this is part of just personal chess development, pushing yourself outside your comfort zone. I had an interesting chat with someone, a viewer actually, Toby, if you're watching, who emailed me recently and says he does a lot of machine learning. And he was telling me about different learning methods. And I completely agree with something he said, that you have to push yourself to make decisions in chess and maybe play in a certain way that is outside your comfort zone. You have to do this quite often if you want to get better and maximize your potential. I think it's tough in chess because we're conditioned to repeat setups that have brought us success previously. But from a learning perspective, that can hurt you, right? Because if you're repeating the same setups all the time, you're not exploring the full depths of the game, really. You're just sticking to certain setups that on paper do bring you results, but are probably not going to aid you in your overall development. And I'm kind of two minds about that. I mean, part of me, the practical side of me, this move is okay. My queen does defend h5. The practical side of me says, well, if it's not broke, don't fix it. If you're used to a certain style of play, like, why would you want to mess with that and try to do something different? But I do feel like if you've hit a plateau in your game, it is important to make a change and try to identify the causes of your stagnation, of your plateaus. Let's go in here and attack the rook. So, okay. I am trying to launch a mating attack. This is going to be real tough for him to defend. He has a check here, though. He can trade queens. It's very annoying. Okay. Yeah, I played this poorly, to say the least. Okay. I think I'm still winning, but it's going to be tough. Take that. Oh, Let's go here just to make sure. Okay, so we win. I think I could have killed him on the king side in a better way. After rook takes c8, knight takes c8. I missed that queen e2 was coming. Maybe I need a prophylactic move here. Perhaps king f2. Step over and just stop his queen from coming in. Yeah, that should be pretty good. Okay, back in the pool. To that point I was making, though, I do think it's important. Like, if you're stagnating, try to identify if there's a stylistic reason for it, even. This maybe applies to some of the better players, because those of you who are lower rated, you probably have big enough holes in your games where you shouldn't be thinking too much in terms of style. But if you're, I'd say, around 2,000 or higher, maybe even slightly lower, let's say 1,800, and you just feel like you're hitting a wall, perhaps try a new opening. Try a different setup that you're not used to. That's going to encourage you to play in a different way than you're accustomed to, and probably will spur some learning. Even if you happen to lose, I mean, that would be no different from normal if you're going through a slump. So you might as well try to pick up a new bit of knowledge, or knowledge of certain openings along the way. Chessdennis is the next opponent. Okay, let's play a King's Indian attack in the Caro-Kann. He throws in that move, very sneaky. Okay, I like my position now. I feel like this e-pawn is kind of a wedge I can work with. We'll put the rook on e1. This guy's good, though. I played him in blitz and such before. Good player. This is a convenient defensive move. Defends c2, hits f5. We're going to kick this guy out. Out, out, out. Let's put the rook on d1 now. Now we're going to go f4. I want to get rid of this knight. That knight is super pesky on d5. Okay, I'm happy with this trade. I think I'm going to hold off on making a further trade with him. Let's go here, harass this pawn. Let's play h3, just some strengthening move. Gotta watch that my queen isn't trapped. Okay, now that he plays this, I'm going to bring the knight back. It's not doing anything on the g2, on b3 anymore. Maybe c4 is decent by him, if he wanted to go for that. I'm just going to try to stick this knight here. Let's do this. Trades are good for me here. Oh, boy. Trades are not good when you drop an entire rook. That was awful. It's an atrocious move. Okay, I'm still attacking despite being down a piece. Okay. So I got some material back, not bad. A4 is hanging. Whoops. I think I got to go for the Hail Mary soon. Bishop h6 is what I mean by that. Now I got to bail with my king. Ah, that's mate in two. So dropped a rook there and was promptly punished. How did that happen? So I played queen e4. Was that the move that killed me? Yeah, queen e4. He doubled up and is attacking d1. I guess I needed to play queen e2. Or I should have traded and then played queen e4. Although then maybe he can play queen d8. So up till that point, I think I held a slight edge. I had a space advantage here, so I was liking that. The position roundabout queen c4 seems a bit better. It looks weird to play a move like h3, right? A slow move, but I'm trying to gradually enforce my space advantage. Toj, man, this guy, this is one dude I've had issues with in the past because he's good and he outplays me. So let's see if we can keep the pace against him. That's one thing that I remember being very important against a Toj. Staying okay on the clock. Let's play rook e8. Actually, let's play queen e7. And then we're going to centralize. We're both playing some useful moves. Let's pull the bishop back here. Let's do this, and then play e5. We'll see what he has to say about that. I feel like I can get pressure on e4, perhaps. It's going to be kind of a difficult point for him to defend. Let's do this. Play b6, just make sure a7 never hangs. Ooh, we win an exchange. Knight d3. Take here. e4 is going to hang next. Probably queen takes e4 is what we'll play. Yeah, and he resigned. Okay, I'm glad to get a victory against him. Difficult opponent for me. Does it show my stats when I play someone? I always forget what the command is to show your previous stats. You can draw up all the games that you played against someone previously. It's not assess. Yeah, that just tells you how much you would gain or lose in rating if you played them. I don't remember. Let's take a look at another game in progress while we wait. I'll probably do a live stream tomorrow, by the way. Tomorrow is in Sunday, so expect that. Advantage for white in this position. Look for white to try to play knight h4 and get a knight into f5. I would not be surprised in the least if white does that. So if you're black, you want to stop that with g6, I think. I would not allow knight f5. No reason to allow that knight to jump in. Note that the rook on a8 has to stay guarding the pawn on a6. White has this bishop plus queen battery. So that's going to limit the scope of black's play because that rook does need to stay tied down to the defense of the pawn. Same with the light square bishop. So Guram knows that black is somewhat cramped and is maneuvering his knight, and black decided to play b5 offering a pawn, but that's not a move you want to play. That's pretty impatient. Nevertheless, black has some chances. I mean, the b pawn might fall. Queen takes b2 next. White's probably going to put the knight on c4. Both sides are ignoring this hanging b2 pawn. Ooh, queen d4 check. Ooh, I think white was about to win the queen there. NomenNescio is the next opponent. Okay, let's do this, and then we'll play... All right, he's not going for e3. I'm going to fianchetto my dark square bishop. Oftentimes you get, like, reversed... what would it be? Reverse Sicilian positions out of this. Is he going to go f4? Is he going to go all in? Nope. Okay, so let's play the knight to f5. We got an attack here. This looks quite familiar to another game I had previously. Can I play knight h4, attack the queen, maybe go after the h5 pawn next? Looks like it. Let's do that. Let's bring this back. He does castle that way. Let's play bishop f5, just restricting his king. Can't do that. It's actually a pesky move. I'm going to go here and maybe knight b4. Have that in mind. I'm going to pull this back now. I don't think I should have put the bishop on f5 now that I think about it, because that takes away a square from my knight. If I were him, I'd develop this and try to attack down the h-file, but it looks like he's not going to do that. Let's go king d7. Why not? We'll just defend our bishop that way. Put the queen on h4. Pester him with a trade, which he probably does not want. He's going to agree to it. Okay, so let's do this and then take like so. Defend the f-pawn. That's a valuable pawn. I don't want to give it up. Go here. Go here, attack his knight. Oh, I blundered. I blundered. Okay. He doesn't have much time, though, is the thing. Okay, he lost on time. Luckily for me, because I was losing at the very end. Okay, anarchy is next, jumping right into this, sticking with e4 as a theme. Open Sicilian, right? Let's test my knowledge of the Richter-Rouser. Queen d2, castles, all this fun stuff. Let's play king b1. Just trying to play some useful moves. Some helpful stuff. Just playing by muscle memory, really. Trying to go h6. Let's put the bishop here. Now g5 will come with some punch. I think if I'm black, I want to try to trade queens. So I wouldn't be shocked to see queen c5 come up here. Let's go knight a4. I wonder if a sack on e4 is ever possible for him. Okay, let's take. If knight takes, probably g5. I think I should go charging ahead. You can put a rook on d8, threatening knight c3 business. So bishop d3. I don't fully trust this for me, but I'm still going to try to attack. I'm going to give the knight on a4 in a bid to attack. So bishop takes a4, take g7. Who says that Finns doesn't play exciting chess, guys? Okay, let's do this. I want queen h6. I don't want to take and open the b file right towards my king. This is part of the new me, right? Playing aggressive chess, going for mate. Even though he can play f6 and probably avoid mate here. Can I do this, though? Okay, let's do that. Now I'm threatening g8 queen. So he's got to take the pawn, but then my rook swings over to g1, and he's getting mated in short order. Someone is blowing up my phone right now. Okay, so he resigned. That was a fun game. As I said, my instincts told me this was unsound when his rook came over to d8, and now he's threatening knight c3 check. So I can't just blindly play g takes h6, knight c3 check, b takes c3, rook takes d2. Let's just check the evaluation just to see how correct my instincts were, or incorrect. Looks like they were correct. Yeah, black is better here. So in such positions, when you've committed to an attack to the detriment of your position otherwise, you got to keep your head down and just go for it, right? Like when he plays bishop c6, I'm not thinking, how can I save my knight? If I play b3, bishop takes a4, knight c3 check, I'm probably just going to get killed anyways. So you have to have a single-minded purpose, aka getting to your opponent's king faster than they get to yours. So that's what I was doing here, even knight c3 check. I don't want to take and allow b takes c3 with tempo, opening the b file. Yeah, so it looks like I can ignore all this. The computer says this is good. Queen h8 mate is the threat. Check. Queen takes. And I know you might be thinking that this is impressive, that I could calculate this, but the truth is I'm not calculating at all. These are just attacking concepts, and I have seen this work before in many games and games that I've played too. So just applying it. No calculation really necessary. Okay, let's get back in the pool. Who is Grandmaster Anarchy? Anatoly Bykhovsky. I have played this guy OTB. I beat him in a tournament where I got my sole Grandmaster norm in St. Louis in 2013. Incidentally, I was also worse in that game and came back and won. It was an exciting game. That's the thing about Bullet. I get this question a lot. People ask, like, how are you so good in Bullet? Or how is Eric Hansen so good in Bullet? Eric Hansen is much better than me in Bullet and in chess in general. And for good players, like, playing Bullet is kind of just a natural extension of their chess abilities. It's not like I've specifically trained for Bullet. It's just that pattern recognition is so ingrained in a strong player's chess psyche. You rely on pattern recognition constantly when you play this game, that Bullet just brings that to the fore. And I think an experienced player has an even bigger edge in Bullet than they do in Blitz or Standard, simply because calculation is not going to be that big of a factor that often in Bullet. It's mostly pattern recognition. Yeah, you're calculating, but your calculations are really superficial, surface level. You're calculating a few ply ahead at most. But the superior players' pattern recognition, just the amount of work they've done previously in the game, really shows in Bullet. Okay, so let's play rook b8, looking to push the b pawn. This is a reversed Dutch, essentially, with my opponent playing the bird. Or, I guess, d3 followed by f4, sort of a bird hybrid. Let's put the bishop on d7 just to guard this knight. I'm going to go for d4 now. Not sure about this position. I want to put my knight on d5. There's always this hole on e3 in this variation that you can play against. Lots and lots of pawn tension. Let's play queen b6 and add to the tension. We'll take. I'm expecting a bunch of trades still. If he takes with the knight, I get my bishop pointed at the g3 pawn, however. Okay, so let's take here first and then take. I'm going to take h3, actually. Not sure I should have done that, but because he does get a strong center, but I like the fact that I'm weakening his king somewhat. Let's go back here, attacking g3, trying to be sneaky. He saw that. So he's got two strong center pawns, but I have potential attacks against his king later. Let's play f6 now and open up the e file. So maybe bishop h4 could be an idea someday. Let's pull this back. Don't want that bishop too exposed where it's at. Okay, we'll take. I'm thinking bishop f5, threatening rook c2. I'm also looking to win that d pawn. I guess I'll take. Okay, this bishop controls c8, so we're in good shape here. Does he have time to do that? Guess he does. Ooh, wow. Interesting right there. Oh, he saw it. Wow. Very well played by him. Yeah, that subtlety where he moved his king, that's instructive right there in the endgame. If he had played just the natural move, king g5, I play king e4, and I win the f-pawn before he wins mine. But, again, pattern recognition. This fits perfectly in what I was talking about. He's probably seen this so-called ram formation and this particular ending many times, where two kings are like circling a pair of pawns that are blocked, and you have to approach the kings correctly so you put your opponent in zugzwang. And that's what happened here. He played king g6. I have to play either king e6 or king e4. If king e4, king to g5, he's going to win the f-pawn anyways, so I played king e6 just so I can get in front. I actually played a terrible move here, king f7. King e7 would hold the draw after king takes f5, king f7, taking the opposition, but I was just trying to make him run out of time. Nicely played by him at the end. He held a draw in a tough position. I thought I was going to win round about here because I was stopping his c-pawn, but he conjured up some nice tricks. Yeah, and he correctly did not queen here. If he queens, c8 queen, bishop takes c8, bishop takes c8, b2, he can't go to f5 because I could check on e6 though and then play the bishop back. That's probably a draw if I had to guess. But also that trick, bishop c2 right here, was very nice. I can't take his bishop, of course, because he queens. So this is probably just a draw. Yeah, he can win my pawn, but if I had played king e7, it would not have mattered. This is a fun game. Okay, NECF in schools. The Sharks are circling now. I'm not going to play for too much longer, but we will definitely play against NECF a couple times. Playing a King's Indian attack. Let's play e5 and then rook e1. I do okay against him. I don't have such bad results when we play. Let's play a3 just to slow him down. Some famous Bobby Fischer games in this setup that are always fun. He'll probably take on a3. Okay, we'll continue pushing. Try to get the knight up to g4. And attack, attack, attack. He might stick the rook in on b2. He does. Okay, so let's do this. And we'll play the bishop back. I have a feeling he'll just keep the rook here. But we'll find out how good that is. Let's go here. Bishop takes d5. Let's try it. I don't know if this is any good or not, but looks fun. Pull this back. A wacky position, right? Typical. I can just take that. Yeah, okay. My position's kind of falling apart now. Let's take here. I don't know where to put that knight, so I'm just going to try to go after e6, I guess. Playing rook takes e6 next is the point. I'm very weak on the back rank, though, as just illustrated there. We can't play rook c1, though, importantly. Also, knight g5 is a big threat, right? Check. Now he gets mated. Wild game. I knew he was going to put the rook in on b2 and then refuse to move it, which makes sense. I think that's the way black should play it. But, okay, my kingside attack at the outset wasn't looking like it was going to get there. I moved my h-pawn all the way up to h6, but he just played g6 then and waited around. But somehow I was able to create enough confusion in the center. I think he might have played overconfidently right around here, that I was able to attack e6, and the h6 pawn proved handy, right, in the final moment, because he played rook c7 along rook e8 followed by mate on the next move. So NECF again. Let's play g6. We'll play a setup with g6 against him. See how he treats it. Play h5. Get some wacky looking Pirts. He might put the knight in on g5. I guess we'll find out. Let's take and then go here, I guess. Play e6. Not thrilled about my position, but it's a position of sorts. Threaten knight takes e5. He allows it. Good stuff for me. Now we're going to try to overrun him with our cavalry. Whoa. Sacrifice right there. How to crush him. I don't see anything crushing yet, so let's just do this for now. Let's give it a check. Guess we'll pull this back. Let's put it here. My knight is a little awkwardly placed, but I don't think it's that big of a problem. Let's go a5. Guess I'll try to rush him over here. a4. a3. Rook d5. He can take on h3, but he has to give up 2 minors at least, or 2, go here. He's fighting well. I'm not playing this very well either. The time is concerning me. It's one major thing. Let's do this, I guess. Go after his rook. Check him around a little bit. Okay, wow. I won with 0.0 on my clock. He is fast. He is super fast. Okay, so I got the swindle victory at the end. I couldn't settle for the draw. Then it was just who can check each other more at the end. He panicked with, what was it, rook g7? I think you should just play rook takes h4. I thought that was his whole point of rook h8 check. All right. Let's play 2 more games. Call it a session. Okay, I'm going to play in kind of weird style, but we'll see what happens here. So we'll go a4. Just try to stop his advance on this wing. And get ready for some play. Okay, don't quite know what I'm doing, so let's play h4. Okay, we'll take like that. He's going to take on d3 is the thing. Does not. Okay, we're going to go f5. Try to make it interesting. Yeah, not the greatest position for me. He wants to hurt me. I can tell. I'm down a lot of pawns now. Ooh, this is a nice shot. Knight takes e6, or knight e6 check coming. Take there. And let's see. I want to get my knight in. Queen g5 is now a thing. Guess we'll threaten mate, but he can cover it. Does that work for him? Ah, very nice. Guess we'll keep trying, just for the moment. That should be completely winning for him, though. Rook e6 coming. Okay, I guess we'll do that. Yeah, again, should be completely winning. He's up a lot of time, too. All right, we'll resign that game. I might have been mating there, though. Rook takes f7 was a nice shot. I just didn't find a way to follow it up. Maybe not. Maybe king h8 is surviving. I could play knight e6 here. I should probably do that. Knight e6 hits the queen and the rook. Would have been good. Okay, final game against NECF. We got to play Scandi one game, right? We'll insist on the Scandi. Queen d5 anyways. I don't mind playing this line. This line's fine. I always feel it's okay. Put the knight on e7. Okay, we'll play c6. Just stop any ambitions he has with a knight coming to b5 and whatnot. Go here. This is a little tricky to develop now. I'm going to try to castle queenside, I suppose, but not completely inspired by this, let's say. Yeah, this is a shaky way of continuing for me. Try to put the bishop on c8. You can check me on e3 always now. Guess we'll take that. Yeah, this is going to be hard to hold. Losing lots of pawns, too. Guess G5. Try to counterattack on the second rank, but of course, this is probably not going to work. He can just play bishop D2. Yeah. Okay, we'll play one more because we got to break the tie. It's 2-2 against NECF. So this will be the last game for real. Beat me handily this game. Where did I go wrong? I don't know. Maybe I shouldn't take en passant. But then my knight is kind of weird on G6. Okay, I'm sticking with E4, even if it doesn't bring me the greatest results, whatever. It's just as good as any other opening move. Okay, Kalashnikov. The Kalashnikov variation. Fun line. I've played it before. Okay, let's just trade off that knight. Bishop E3, I think, was another move. Could consider there. Is he going to do something funky with check? Does that work? Guess. Okay, I'm going to go here just to be safe. If F3, I think Queen H4 was his idea. Wasn't sure about that, so don't want to fall into it. Let's take on F5 now. Go G4. Put the bishop here. Do this. Let's go here, just see if he wants to swap. So I think that would be good for me. Okay, guess I'll do this. I should not have played that, never mind. Again, not playing this super well, and I'm down on time at this stage too. Now he can trade and take on B2. Very annoying. Ugh, it's gross the way I played that. Take on D5, yep. Probably close to getting mated. Lost my rook too. All right, yeah, NECF just dominated us those last 3 games. But got to give credit where credit's due. He played well. So I got stuck when the queen came to E2. I probably should have just traded right here. I was trying to gain a tempo by rook C1, getting him to take on B3, but queen E2 was quite annoying. It shouldn't be that annoying, but I had trouble finding a move here, because I don't want to trade and give up the file, be the first one to give up the file. And my queen is not that well placed. Maybe queen A3, something like that, just hitting A6. He's good at... Oh, wait, this is not even NECF. This is Open Yagami. This is a completely different player. I just assumed it was NECF. Is NECF... Okay. All right. Well, probably a good sign to end the session. So I was 2-2 against NECF, and Open Yagami, who is... I don't know who that is. Vladimir Belous. Yeah, pretty good player. Oh, and I also have to tabulate the results for this session. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8, 4, and 1. 8 wins, 4 losses, 1 draw. Not bad. Tough competition at the end. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. And like I said, I'll probably be back for a stream tomorrow. Keep an eye out for that. And I hope you guys have a good Saturday or Sunday, if it's Sunday in your part of the world. All right, talk to you later. Bye.